As a series, the developers have always viewed Animal Crossing as a communication game. They built gameplay ideas around how players can share their experiences with others. It's the foundation of the series, and one they unfortunately got wrong in Animal Crossing New Horizons. The biggest thing that held New Horizons back was its multiplayer. And I don't mean the fact that there isn't much to do online with friends, nor the time it takes in order to fly over to an island and connect to other players. No, the biggest multiplayer feature that held New Horizons back is the one people use the least and often forget: the local multiplayer. I'm so torn about this because it really comes from a loving place in the series. Animal Crossing creator Katsuya Eguchi talked about how the game was a way for him to connect with his family during times of loneliness. His family had different schedules, so they'd play on their own time and log in to see surprises from each other. It makes so much sense why New Horizons was built so carefully around the local multiplayer experience, and while it's a sweet thought, unfortunately, I think it limited what was possible with the game. The first negative effect it had was a single island per console. The developers wanted every Switch profile to log into the same island. They wanted everybody who played on the same Switch to have a personal investment with the island. And I get it. It's a lot less invasive than everybody logging into your profile in order to access their save. But the main issue is that the vast majority of players prefer the solitary endeavor of Animal Crossing. Raise your hand if you want to share an island with other people. Now, the majority of you probably didn't, but I'm sure some of you did, and I want to let you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's really fun to play an island or town together. My first experience with Animal Crossing on the GameCube was a shared town, and I loved it so much. The issue I have is that we can't choose. I came into this game really hoping that each profile would get their own island and that we could play up to 8 different islands on a single Switch. How much better would it be if every person in a household could have their own island, and then you could also have an island that you all shared? You could log into your account and play your own island, and the family account to play your shared island. That feels ideal to me. And how many 8-person households are there? I feel like there's a rare group of people out there with 8 people all interested in playing Animal Crossing on a single island together who are living it up. Now, multiple islands is an expensive cost for the players. People, especially kids, don't have a cheap option to play their own island and get complete control of the game. Because here's the thing. The player who starts the island at the beginning controls all story progress. If you are a secondary player moving in, you're forced to wait in order to push the game further and unlock more features. So let's get into actually playing the game. One of the biggest complaints I've seen about New Horizons is the lack of shops. Where's Leaf's shop? Where's Kick's shop? Where is Brewster's coffee shop? Well, because the team focused so much on optimizing the game for the possibility of 8 players on a single island and up to 4 players playing at the same time in local multiplayer, cuts had to be made. The amenities we have on the island were planned around the fact that space was saved for 8 buildings whether we use them or not. Currently, there's no limitation on how many items we can place outside, and if you visited those super crowded islands, you've definitely experienced how the performance of the game can plummet. Well, the performance can also plummet when playing 4-player local multiplayer. With all the characters out, you start to see the frame dips and the lag on your island pretty easily. Right now, we have Nook's Cranny, Able Sisters, the museum, the campsite, 10 villager homes, and up to 8 player homes. That's 22 buildings to move around the main island. They limited how many big buildings we could place on the island in order to keep the game running as smoothly as possible, but they also created that problem by allowing so many player homes. I honestly believe this is why Kix and Leaf don't have their own building. This is also why I think if Brewster is eventually added, he'd be inside the museum instead of having his own building. Every character that has been added after release has had their own designated spot, and none of them have a new building on the island. Red got the secret beach, Pascal got the ocean, and Gulliver got stuck on the beach like Gulliver. If the devs didn't have to plan for the possibility of 7 extra player homes, maybe more of the cut special characters could have made an appearance. So that's how local multiplayer limited the possibilities with New Horizons. Online multiplayer is a lot of the same as we've had before. All of us have heard the complaints over online multiplayer, like slow travel and not much to do, but the biggest gripe I have is the loss of minigames. Sure, exploring friends' islands and shopping it's nice, but once that's done, there isn't much to do beyond it. It would have been nice to see the online gameplay be more than show and tell. Luckily, mailing items is convenient and quick. It's unfortunately limited to a couple letters per day through Dodo Airlines and a couple more items through Nook Shopping, but it's a great way to send an item quickly to a friend. They got the basics down, but there isn't anything really special in the online multiplayer. Really, I'm just sad to see that so much of New Horizons' experience was built around a feature very few care about. Thank you for tuning in to this video on the multiplayer in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Be sure to subscribe for more Animal Crossing and Nintendo content. I'll see you all later. Bye!